So this is the introduction to the colon cleanse. So this is the Blessed Herbs kit. Now, some of you guys have done this before, but I'm going to pretend like you haven't. So feel free to ask me any questions, like I said, but I'm going to go over this kit, which is basically 2 ingredients, which is really nice, okay? So they kind of whittled it down to, there's a dosage calendar, which tells you exactly what to do day by day, and a user's guide. So I do expect you guys to read, but I am also here to help you. So I'll give you like 100% guidance, which is included in the cleanse, which is nice. There's basically digestive stimulators, which I'm going to go over first, because this is the one that gets a little confusing. So when you read this, it's going to ask you to figure out your digestive stimulator number. And most people get afraid of this particular combination of herbs because they think it's going to be too much. When they hear the word stimulator, they're like, oh no, I still have to go to work. I want to be able to work out at the gym, that kind of thing. Think about it as like tonifying the digestive tract. So this is the only supplement you need to take to tonify every organ in the body while you're cleansing, which is really nice that they put something together. It's just one bottle. And then these are the toxic absorbers. Okay, I'm going to tell you the magic number for me, and you know, the hundreds of people I've worked with, is 2. The magic number for the digestive stimulators is 2. So I recommend starting out with 2 a day. And then if it's too much, if you feel like it's too much, then take 1, but you can't take none. Some people are like, oh, I just decided I didn't need them. Take at least 1, but 2 is usually the magic number. If you need to take more, you can take up to 10, okay? They're not going to harm you. Like, I've only had 1 person who needed to take 10 a day. But I do recommend taking 2 and then add from there, okay? So just keep that in mind. And, of course, review the video if you need a little refresher. And so the other ingredient is called a toxic absorber. So this is an 8-day total program. And so what you do is you have 3 days as like a warm-up lap. So it's called the pre-cleanse. And for 3 days, you're just going to do 1 packet at night before bed. You put it in this cute little shaker bottle that they give you. You fill it up halfway with apple juice, and you shake it vigorously. Drink it right away. If you don't drink it right away, it turns into this crazy gelatinous mass that will eventually be like cement, and then you throw it away. Don't try to drink it if it turns gelatinous on you. If you like put it down, grab a phone call or something, come back, and you're like, oh, throw it away. Don't try to drink it. Trust me on this one, okay? So this is the toxic absorber. Okay, it is a powder, and it expands like 2,000 times its size in your intestines. So think about this as like the scrub brush. So the importance of doing a colon cleanse is that it's the largest organ of elimination in the body. And just like your plumbing in your bathroom, it will get clogged, right? And so what we want to do is flush the intestinal tract, but also give it a little scrub. So these are super duper important. And like the name implies, toxic absorber is actually, instead of dumping the toxins into your bloodstream, it's actually going to absorb them and whisk them out of your body, which is pretty amazing. I have to say, I've been doing cleansing programs myself for like decades, but for the last 10 years, I've been doing the Blessed Herbs kit every spring and fall, and it really has been life-changing. Okay, I always feel so good when I cleanse. So if you're feeling like grumpy or tired or sick on the cleanse, it means you're doing it too intensely, right? It's too harsh on the body. So slow it down by eating. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't make it so intense that you're not enjoying the process. You can kind of like step your way up to doing more intense cleanses as your body gets used to it. Okay, so you're going to do 1 packet at night for the first 3 nights before bed. And then you're going to take 2 of these, or figure out your number, before dinner for the first 3 days. Super simple. You start to modify your diet, start to eliminate some of the foods that you know that you shouldn't be eating. There's a whole table in there that describes like how to choose your diet. And I basically create an authentic plan for you. So you can tell me what your goals are, what your intentions are for the cleanse, and we can work it together, because you can make it pretty simple and pretty plain. You know, everybody knows to eliminate like alcohol and coffee and sugar and fried foods and things like that. Or you can be like, I'm just going to eat normal and do this and get like a mild experience. So you don't actually have to change your diet at all. I do recommend shifting out of the things that make you feel sluggish, because you're going to assist your digestive tract on getting a good cleanse. If you don't do that, you'll just get a slower cleanse, and it's okay. It's better than nothing. If you decide that you're going to do a fast for the next 5 days. So you're going to read here that there's 3 options. There's good, there's better, and there's best. So you can just use this as a quick reference as well as read the user's guide. The good option is for people that I work with that are really sick. And it's better to just do 1 packet at night before bed for 30 days than to do no cleanse at all. So some people are not ready to do 5 days of intense cleansing, right? So the good option is for some people, okay? I think all of you guys can do the better option. The best option, I don't really recommend because it requires only liquids, only juicing. And for those 5 days after the 3-day pre-cleanse, everybody with me, right? So a total of 8 days. So those 5 days after you do the pre-cleanse, which is like just preparing the body, preheating the oven, right? If you do the better option, you're going to eat a couple meals in between the packets. So when you do the 5 days, just think of the number 5, you do 5 packets a day for 5 days. Now those packets are going to be spaced out every 3 hours. And you'll find that you're not hungry because remember that liquid is expanding in your digestive tract, scraping the intestines, and you'll feel full and bloated, right? And if you're feeling full and bloated, it's totally normal and okay. Just think about like the bulldozer going through and getting rid of all the old stuff, which is what we want. But the digestive stimulators will keep the digestive tract moving. If you don't have enough like fire in your belly, then you become sluggish, right? Then you're like backed up. So we think about that bottleneck effect going across the Golden Gate Bridge. We're going to help kind of push everything through, which is what the digestive stimulators do. But you're not going to be running to the restroom every few minutes. You know, it's not like Diarrheaville or something like that. Just, it shouldn't be at least, right? But everybody's different. But that's the good thing about the toxic absorbers. It actually like kind of collects everything and moves it out of the body. So any questions about the toxic absorbers or digestive stimulators before we go on to the best? Yeah, please ask.
The digestive stimulators, is it weight-based? Like you take 2, so should I take 4?
Well, it isn't exactly like that, but there's probably a direct correlation to like the bigger you are, the more help you need to stimulate the digestive tract. But I don't necessarily think it's weight correlated as much as like how quickly is your digestive tract eliminating now. Like it's normal to go to the bathroom 3 times a day. Number 2, right? Most people only are going to the bathroom once or twice a day. And some people it's once a week. I really have to tell you, like a lot of people have very sluggish digestive systems, and you can see it in their body. You know, people who are getting bigger, it's because it's not more is going in than coming out, right? So we're trying to balance that out. So if somebody's a little bit bigger, they probably need to take more to get it moving again, and then you're going to have extra. They give you way more than you need for the 7-8 day experience, and I suggest that you keep taking these to keep your digestive tract regular. Okay. If you're already regular, then 2's probably going to be okay. And the one woman that I was working with years ago that needed to take up to 10 to have regular bowel movements, she was skinny. She was like small. And I was like, what is happening inside? But she was stuck. Do you know what I mean? Like a contracted intestinal system isn't going to move easily because we have to like help it learn how to relax, which is why I do recommend doing body work on the cleansing program. So at least a session a week, you know, just come in and I'll do belly work, but we'll also get just the whole lymph system working and everything like that. It helps tremendously. Not everybody comes in and gets body work done during the cleanse, but I do find it to be incredibly helpful. Okay, so yeah, you might find you need to take more. Sometimes people think 1 is enough. Do you remember what it was for you last time?
I think I just followed the directions.
Yeah. Good idea. So let's talk about the better option and why I recommend that. The best option is eating no solid foods so that your digestive tract basically is empty. And then the toxic absorber packets can work better. They're just going to have less to absorb, right? Now, if you do that option, you're probably going to wind up having fatigue and headaches and some nausea as your body is releasing the toxins from the system. Like I said, that's not necessarily recommended because I want you guys to think of this instead of it a deprivation as a nourishing cleanse. So this whole program is a conscious cleansing program. And if we cleanse the body consciously and intelligently, we don't need to feel sick while cleansing. What we want to do is give the body a break so it can learn how to heal itself again. When the body is overloaded, it forgets how to take care of itself. And without all of that kind of distraction, that energy is freed up. And so the organs will work better. Really, my sleep improves. I'll just talk about my improvements, but this is across the board. Like, sleep is improved, mood is improved, energy levels are better, your cravings kind of like subside, or at least kind of come back into balance. And if you change and modify your diet, then you can have a different relationship to food after those 8 days. What I find is I don't have the desire to like overeat and do those things. Now, it might be the other way around, where like, you know, sometimes after coming off the cleanse, I'm like, I want apple pie. I don't eat apple pie normally, but all of a sudden I was like, I'm tired of apple juice. I want apple pie, you know, so it's okay if you make a deal with yourself too. As soon as I'm done with this cleanse, I'm going to give myself this treat. That's okay too. But we also want to check ourselves and like, how much are we using food as a habit, right? Dealing with emotional stress, dealing with like comfort, dealing with like, you know, suppressed feelings, that kind of stuff. We eat for all kinds of reasons. So cleanses usually give us a chance to reset that. Okay, so better option is what I recommend for everyone, unless they've been like a pro cleanser for many, many years, because you are not depriving yourself. So if you're hungry, you're going to eat. You know, you're not ruining it or doing it wrong and that kind of thing. So we want to get out of that mindset and mainly use it as an opportunity to nourish our bodies. So what would be nourishing during this week-long cleanse? That's what I want you guys to focus on. Okay? Any questions about the colon cleanse before I go over internal cleanse? Okay, great. Thank you, guys. So I'll just push this aside. Just check this. Okay, so we're going to move this puppy. So this is intimidating at first. I know you guys are going to be like, a gasp. And this is why I decided to have a meeting, our little cleanse meeting for I call you guys my Italian family, my extended Italian family. Okay, so the internal cleansing kit. Now this will be, this whole system is a 4-week system. The first week is the colon. So if we look at our bodies as like a pyramid, so the base of the pyramid, which is the largest organ of elimination, we're going to get that clear first, and then all the other organs can release and detoxify, because we're not like just dropping or dumping more toxins into a system that's already toxic. So colon cleanse first, and then we move up the body from there. So this is what it looks like. It has its own dosage calendar, which is super handy, and user guide. And now this is broken up into 3 weeks. Okay, so this is the pre-cleanse, which is identical to this kit, but it's just for the 3 days. So you can see it's much smaller. You get the same amount of digestive stimulator tablets, which I do recommend, like I said, take them ongoingly after the cleanse to keep the body tonified. I take these all the time. It's amazing. Helps so much. And then, so this is going to be, so this is week 1. So I'm going to reference this as week 2 and week 3. Okay? Now, it looks like a lot of stuff here. So like I said, this looks really nice, right? After you're like, oh, just 2 ingredients. Now, this is because it's so specific for different parts of the body. They're giving you more herbs and more tinctures to take. Okay, so usually what I do is just kind of like block this out and just be like, this is what you're going to take for the next 3 weeks. Okay, so don't worry about this because that's identical to that. And then the only thing that happens is these rotate out. Okay, so after 2 weeks, after week 2, we just rotate these guys in. That would be week 3. And then after week 3, we just rotate these guys in. Okay? So really, it's right here that we're working on. Does that make sense, everybody? Mm-hmm. Okay, good.
So the stuff on the left side, the book's on,
yeah,
that is your week 1.
This is identical. This is your pre-cleanse. This is that you do another 3 days after you do colon cleanse. You do another pre-cleanse. And then you're going to have a packet at night before bed. And then these are every day. So you just do that for the next 21 days.
So that's day 9, 10, 11. Got it. Okay. Just want to make sure I understand.
And then like take these every day. It's like every day you're going to do that. It's just like the pre-cleanse, but the whole 21 days. Do a packet at night. Okay, so what we have here for week 2 and week 3, it kind of keeps going, is liver and gallbladder. So there are herbs that you're going to take and liquids that you're going to take for liver, gallbladder. Now, you get like a little bonus within this 3-week period that you're doing the internal cleansing kit, because it's also a parasite cleanse. And parasites are like something that the body is constantly dealing with. It's like all all the stuff that's in food that goes unprocessed. We'll just look at it that way. Don't think of it as like little critters as much as like all the unprocessed preservatives and chemicals and things like that. They block your body's ability to absorb nutrients. And so there's a 2-week Parasite Cleanse incorporated into all of these herbs. And so you'll see on here, it'll say small para cleanser, things like that. And then large para cleanser. So as you're doing the liver gallbladder, you're doing the para cleanse for like the whole time, which is what these liquids are. And then what we're going to do for week 3 is move on to working with the lungs and the kidneys. So each week we focus on a different organ and system. Week 1, colon. Week 2, liver, gallbladder. Week 3, kidney, lung. And then after that, the only thing that changes, like I said, are the tinctures. Week 4, we're going to do lymph and blood. So let's look at it like this. So like the pyramid, right? So we work with the base, we're working with the large intestine, and then we move up. We move up to liver, gallbladder, and then we keep moving up to kidney, lungs, and then we keep moving up to lymph and blood. So we're moving up the body like this. So it gets more and more refined. And so we're just cleansing every organ and every system. There's like, you know, all kinds of herbs in there. This is a kit is a total of 90 different herbs that we wind up taking for the full 30 days. Now, if you just do the colon cleanse, which is 100% okay, you only cleaned down here, right? You're not getting every organ and function and system. And so the body will manifest illness. It will manifest injury. It will manifest some sort of disease. Like the idea that we don't cleanse regularly, it's like never changing the oil in your car. You know, you wouldn't do that, right? It's like kind of ingrained in us to take better care of our cars, change the filters, you know, get the transmission fluid, all that. We take better care of our cars than we do our bodies sometimes just because we haven't been taught the importance of this, or we just feel completely overwhelmed, right? Like we don't know what to do, or like people know the master cleanse or things like that that people did in the 70s and 80s. I think we should just skip whatever people did in the 70s and 80s. Like, let's just close that door and get a little bit more intelligent about how to do things healthfully. Because a lot of those were more like intense, you know, deprivation cleanses as opposed to nourishing and nutritional cleansing, which is what I focus on. Okay? So I call this a conscious cleansing program because it's not just about the physical body. It's about the mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies that are all contributing to and integrated into the experience. And so after we get done with any questions here, I'm going to show you on my website that I've created a whole course for the cleansing, if you want to do it, that outline, that it overviews the entire process, but it also gives you some questions that you can do each week, like what's your intention for the cleanse? What is it that you want to clear out, either symbolically or physically? What are your goals? Like each week you focus on a different organ and system, and like you can go through a list of questions and learn about the chakra system, or you can do any part that you want. You can do all of it, or you can just decide to focus on one aspect of it. But if you're ready to go a little bit deeper than the physical body, then there is a whole free program online under courses and cleanses that you can follow that each week. Okay, and that's really up to you. So the colon cleanse is $125 for the week, and that includes my guidance. Okay, and the full 30 days is $400. So I only charge $25 a week to help you guys. Okay, so this is $400 total with my guidance, and that's $125. So you get the whole thing for $400, or you can just do this for $125. Okay, so those are the prices too.
Now, on the last 3 weeks, you can eat while you're doing that?
I want you guys to just eat normal.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like after the colon cleanse and you do the modified diet, I want you guys to just eat normal and then use the herbs to help tonify the body and rejuvenate the body. Don't make it a deprivation cleanse. You know, maybe you decide I'm not going to drink alcohol for the 30 days or I'm not going to drink coffee. I'll tell you, my clients have literally run the gamut. Some people juice their own juices for the full 30 days, which I don't even do. I'm like, wow, okay, you're juicing, which is impressive, you know. And my other clients are like, oh no, I'm drinking, you know what I mean? Or I'm not giving up my coffee. And any way that you decide to do this is 100% okay. But I want you to know that for this 21 days after the colon cleanse, you will be eating. So this is not so much about food, but the supportive herbs to help the organs function better. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is anybody overwhelmed by this whole process here?
And
Does it?
on
okay.
the first one you're eating as well. One
Yes.
just modified.
Modified. And I want you guys to consider, what does that look like for you? There's a whole booklet here, And we're not going to be able to see it on the video too much, but it basically has a chart that says controlling the strength of your cleanse. And it basically says you can make it mild or stronger based on the fact whether you're going to eat like 100% cooked foods and normal, or if you're going to go towards raw and juicing. And so I want you guys to look at this and decide, do I want to eat dairy products? Do I want to eliminate fried foods? Do I want to eliminate sugar? Do I want to eliminate salt? Do I want to eliminate meat? Do I want to, and just ask yourself, is that right for me? Because not everybody is going to have, you don't have the same lifestyle. You don't have the same bodies. You don't have the same, history. And so I really do want you to make this as enjoyable as possible, where cleansing can be something you look forward to. Like, I don't drink juices all day long. It's too much sugar for me. Personally, I don't drink juice normally. But on the cleanse, I get to drink juice. So I'm excited to do the cleanse because I love fruit and I love juicing. But I eliminate a lot of sugars from my life normally. So juice is like a treat for me. Mm-hmm. So like I mix the apple juice with apple cider vinegar just because I need to cut the sugar levels in half. I happen to be like more hypoglycemic. So I turn into a hummingbird. I start freaking out if I have too much sugar. So just as a service to you guys, I eliminate all the sugars in my world. Otherwise, I'd be like a little bit more of a freak. So yeah, so that's something that I choose to do is I add more juices. I do probably 6 16-ounce juices a day when I do the cleanse, and I have 2 meals. That's what I do. I do a superfood smoothie in the morning, which I can help you guys get the ingredients to make superfood smoothies. And then I do like a late breakfast, early lunch, and then like maybe a snack in the evening if I'm hungry. But I'm telling you, those 5 shakes a day are really, really filling. And if you want to eat, I want you guys not to starve, like, oh, I'm starving or something like that. Usually when you first do a cleanse, you kind of like make it more deprivation, than really just nourishment, like asking yourself what would be nourishing right now as a meal. Like you've asked me before, can I eat pasta or things like that? I'm like, yeah. You can have pasta, you can have bread. You'll probably be too full, if you eat those things. If you think about, like, what will clog my system and what will be, like, easy to digest is usually how I choose. A handful of almonds in the middle of the day is a really good idea. Almonds have, like, fats, carbs, and protein in it, so they're going to, like, help your body kind of, like, satiate from any sort of feeling deprived, things like that. Eating like an apple in the middle of the day, or I'm mostly vegetarian. I'd say 90%, but I do eat eggs. So having like a hard-boiled egg on your salad might help you feel satisfied during the cleanse. A piece of fish. I know you guys were good about veggies and fish last time. That kind of thing. It's okay to eat meat on this cleanse, but notice the difference between eating like maybe a piece of chicken versus a steak. So you have to decide what is it that you want to do. Obviously, eliminating those things would give you a stronger cleanse, but we're not trying to attain that. We just want you to feel successful by getting this done, right? So we want you guys to complete the cleanse in a way that feels good for you. And so everybody is going to be different, and I'm willing to do one-on-one consultations with you. What you get for that $25 a week is like a 15-minute phone call or 5 phone calls that are just a few minutes each, or some text messages, things like that. If you feel like I need you to help me design my intake, so let's do some recipes or let's go shopping together, then that would be an extra session, right, that we could do, which means you can get more than 1 session a week from me during the cleanse if you want. If anybody wanted to do the cleanse to lose weight, I do a special optimal performance program that includes all the supplements I do, the minerals, amino acids, enzymes. It includes doing a program with HCG, which is an amino acid that will help the body burn stored fat. And then I also do this whole program with the superfood smoothies. That's $400 a week for everything, including a session. So that's my High Pro Glow program, which I do, which most people lose between 10 to 20 pounds on that in the 30 days. Now, that is only for people who really want to go for it and are wanting to specifically lose weight. I don't recommend it for everybody. If you're just wanting to do a cleanse to support the body, rejuvenate the organs, then just stick to this. But if anybody's interested in my Optimal Performance Program, just talk to me about that and I'll introduce you. All of those supplements and everything are included in that price. So each week we just keep adding things on so that you have like the full kit. Okay? So I'm going to stop the video, and then we're going to shift over to looking at the website, and then you guys can ask me any other questions. But anything else before I wrap it up here? Thank you for asking great questions, because whatever question you have, most likely somebody else has.